I was stunned that some of the backlash she got were from Black elected male officials saying they didn't want to support a woman. And I hear these people talk about Black men that are pulling away from your campaign, though I've not seen any real evidence of that.
Okay, can we just be honest? Al Sharpton is the original grifter. So if you don't know, back in the days in New York, anytime there was any kind of racial conflict, this fat ass would show up in a jumpsuit, and he would demagogue against Jews, by the way, specifically, and get people super mad to the point where they nearly attacked Jewish people. And he was a menace, an absolute menace in the New York area, okay? And then all that got magically forgiven. Why did it get forgiven when that stuff never gets forgiven?
Why did it get forgiven?
Because he decided to embrace professional corruption. He was running 2-bit scams back in the day because he didn't know any better, right? But he's a smart guy, so he wisened up and he's like, oh, the way the professionals do this is they kiss the ass of the donors, they kiss the ass of the politicians, and they get the real money, the big money. And did he shake down a lot of businesses saying, hey, if you don't give me money, I'm going to call you racist? Okay, go ahead and catch feelings. Yes, he did. Okay, and do you want to know how Comcast was allowed to merge and actually acquire NBC and MSNBC? They had a massive race problem. Al Sharpton came in and said, no, they don't. They don't have any race problem. Guess where Al Sharpton wound up? Hired by Comcast at MSNBC. Funny how that works.
What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel, back with another video. Now, y'all, when I came across a news story that said the Black church was bucking up against Al Sharpton for his support of Kamala Harris and her campaign, his grifting and receiving of up to $500,000 reportedly, for his interview with her, his support of her on MSNBC, I said, oh my goodness, this is right down my alley. I'm a church boy at heart. And to think that the Black church might be coming to its senses and excising someone like an Al Sharpton, getting him out of the mix, saying, bro, we ain't trying to hear what you talking about. Oh, that was right up my alley, y'all. And then I read this article and I was so disappointed. Y'all know I don't even like the phraseology Black church. If you follow me for some time, you've heard me talk about it. Because there's so many nuances within the Black church that if you just call it a Black church and paint with a broad brush, you're going to skip over some things. You're going to sweep up some people that don't deserve to be swept up. If I investigated a Nigerian Baptist church in Brooklyn, it would be so different from an African-American AME church in Oakland or LA. So how can we just call it Black church and say, oh, they all the same because they blackity black? No, that's the wrong metric. You're looking at the skin color and lumping them all together when there's so many nuances, y'all. They agree on certain things and disagree on certain things. And even in knowing that, I still got excited to think that collectively, with all those nuances, they might be in agreement on pushing Al Sharpton out of the collective. No, this story said this. Moral stain, it says. Black Church Coalition demands MSNBC suspend Al Sharpton over undisclosed Kamala Harris campaign payments. That's the title. Pretty long title, but very descriptive. Okay, they gave us some context. The undertitle says, Harris campaign's payment to Sharpton's group does not look good for a man supposed to represent integrity, National Black Church Initiative says. Okay, now we got some clarity, y'all. This ain't the Black church stepping up. So the title of some of these headlines that I've been seeing in these YouTube streets, those are wrong. Those are inaccurate. Those are incorrect. This ain't the Black church coming up. This is, let's get it right. This is the National Black Church Initiative. This is another blackity black organization, another shakedown outfit, in my opinion, that is on the same level as an Al Sharpton and his National Action Network. Y'all, these are nonprofit organizations that are fighting against each other. ain't got the nerve to put themselves under the umbrella of the black church and say, oh, well, the black church disagrees with Al Sharpton. No, the black church don't disagree. No, don't put that on the black church because, like I said, you ain't recognizing the nuance. No, the National Black Church Initiative is who disagrees with Al Sharpton. We don't know who that is. Y'all investigate it. Find out who it is. Find out if they're a 501c3. Find out if they're beholden to the government who gives them a nonprofit status. Yeah, it sounds like to me like this organization might be mad at Al Sharpton because he took up all the blackity black money. You know, millions went to the whitey white organizations. Millions went to the white bloggers, to the white vloggers, to the white YouTubers and TikTokers. Only a little bit left for the blackity blacks, and look like Al Sharpton got most of it. And this organization here look like they mad about it, but got nerve to call themselves the National Black Church Initiative. Y'all trying to put an umbrella up and engulf all the blackity black churches. Oh. Do you represent the AME, National Black Church Initiative? Do you represent the Kojic, National Black Church Initiative? Do you represent the Baptist, the Institutional Baptist, or the Southern Baptist? Which one you got on lock? Let us know. You just stepped out here and named your organization the National Black Church Initiative. Who are you that you would step out here into a political space and call yourself the Black Church? To come against somebody like Al Sharpton. No, we don't think highly of him around these parts, but we don't think highly of you either. Because we see what's going on here, that you would step out and have all of these blackity black vloggers on YouTube talking about the black church is kicking out Al Sharpton. Well, listen, you don't represent the black church. Nobody does. Because when you paint with that broad brush, you gonna sweep up some folks who don't belong. And it's gonna be problematic for you when people like me, who is a black man in America, a black church-going man in America, a black Christian in America, a black believer in America, don't follow suit with what you talking about, National Black Church Initiative. I'm a black man who go to church, but I ain't rocking with this. No, I agree. The black community should excise Al Sharpton and his grifting, in my opinion. You gotta say that, y'all. We on them folks' platform. We gotta say that. I believe the black church should distance themselves from certain folks in the community because they only show up when white police officers kill your son. But they don't show up when the blackity blacks kill your sons every weekend, every day of the week. Happens so often in our community that we think it is normalized. Al Sharpton don't show up. Ben Crump don't show up. But let a police officer kill one of y'all. Y'all kill each other every day. Don't seem to be a problem for the Al Sharptons of the world. Don't seem to be a problem for the National Black Church Initiative of the world. Okay. Don't seem to be a problem for the black church.
He considered blanket pardons for a lot of folks. He didn't follow through, but we certainly expect when he walks in the door, he will issue a bunch of pardons, particularly the January 6th convicts. He made that promise on the campaign trail. That was going to happen regardless. But what do you think the impact of this would be if President Biden and his team follows through with this and offers these blanket pardons? We saw what happened when he pardoned Hunter Biden. How do you think that impacts the national political conversation? How is that going to be perceived?
I think it will be perceived mixed at best, and probably would get a lot of people concerned about what precedent we're setting. But let's not forget, Donald Trump not only talked about pardoning the January 6th people that were doing the insurrection. He called them hostages.
Yeah.
And had them singing as a choir at his rally. So in the background of that, I think that people will be kind of mixed in their reaction if Biden were to do this. From the civil rights community, we've been saying he ought to be pardoning people like Marilyn Mosby, who was the prosecutor in Baltimore, Jesse Jackson Jr., the congressman. I have a brother in Alabama who's doing civil work. Look at people, Reverend Kenny Glasgow. We're looking at people that need pardons, that have come out and done well, served the community. That ought to be the standard. And I think to forecast what people may face, I think is something that should be discussed. But I would hope he also looks at pardoning people that have maybe made a mistake, but turned around and done the right thing. That's what pardons are for. And I think we should not pervert that.
Y'all, this story goes on to say, the National Black Church Initiative, a coalition that says it represents 27.7 million people and 150,000 Black churches across the country, said Wednesday that the payment to Sharpton's group put a moral stain on the integrity of the Black church. The Black church. The group, which said it is very concerned with the growing scandal, urged MSNBC to launch an investigation and express support for Reverend Sharpton's suspension until the investigation is complete. Oh, they want him suspended. They want him off the air. They got a problem with Al Sharpton. Well, that's interesting that you call yourself representing the Black church and you don't have a problem with what goes on in the community on a day-to-day basis. But when Al Sharpton get a bag, you got a problem with it. My contention, my opinion, and this is what this is, y'all. This is an opinion video. My opinion is that this organization is mad because they didn't get no bag. They mad at Al Sharpton because he got the bag. He got all the money for the Blackity Blacks. He sucked it up as a reverend in the name of the Black church community, and y'all didn't get nothing. Story continues. The Washington Free Beacon reported that the Harris campaign made donations of $250,000 on September 5th and October 1st to Al Sharpton's National Action Network, the nonprofit he founded in 1991. Sharpton aired an October 3rd segment featuring Harris on his MSNBC show Politics Nation and conducted a favorable interview with her on October 20th. Yeah, he pushed her, y'all. He promoted her. He marketed her. He was trying to sell her to the Blackity Blacks. He said, look, I'm the gatekeeper. Y'all got to go through me to get through these Negroes back here. So pay the toll at the gate and I'll let you through to the Blackity Blacks back here because they ain't educated. They ain't informed. They not even paying attention. You come through me, I'll sell you to them. I'll bring them all to you, give them over to you for a measly 500,000. The name Judas comes to mind. Okay. That's what our leaders, our Black leaders are about these days, y'all. They're about to shake down. They have understood that they're not talking to, listen, I've come to understand this. If I don't know nothing else, I know this. With all my college degrees and education, with all that backing me up, with all my experience working for legislators, working for governmental entities, I understand that these people like Al Sharpton ain't talking to me. Because if you understand the hustle and you understand the game, you too smart for the game. He ain't talking to you. He understands that the majority of the Blackity Blacks don't have that education. No, the majority of the Blackity Blacks don't have that experience. So he can just move people like me to the side. Bro, I don't care what you think. I ain't talking to you. I'm talking to them back there who don't get it. Them back there who gonna follow me. Them back there who gonna do whatever I say. Because I have knighted myself as a community leader. in the blackity black community. Police kill your kid, I show up. Your kid get killed by another black man, I don't show up. It is not profitable. Y'all understand what's going on here? I need you to see the con game. I need you to see that everybody who represents black ain't necessarily in favor of black. Some of these people are self-motivated, self-interested, and only trying to get the bag for themselves. They don't care nothing about your community. You don't know nothing about no Al Sharpton. You only met him in a time of tragedy. How come he was never in your hood before? How come he was never advocating for problems in your city before? He only showed up when he could fill his bag and run away. And that's what he did here in this situation with the Kamala Harris campaign. The brother got $500,000 just to do a couple 10-minute interviews, softball interviews where he didn't even challenge her. He tried to sell her to you, and he thinks so lowly of you that he could ask her a couple simple questions and pitch her off to you like she was God's anointed. We're not even going to go heavy into that Church of God in Cash. But y'all need to understand what's going on here. You need to see it for what it is and come correct and understand that people like this in the community need to be excised in order for us to grow, in order for us to be better, in order for us to raise up a new generation of knowledgeable, informed, and educated children that will lead us into the future.
There's a little bit of controversy about that podcast because you didn't.
Oh.
Do you know about this?
No, what?
Because in D.C., this interview happened in D.C.
Yeah.
In a hotel.
Yeah, not in a hotel. It was like a random house.
It was like random house. But apparently, you can tell me, they spent, meaning the Harris campaign spent like $100,000.
I did see
you
that.
know about this?
It's hilarious.
To build the studio.
Yeah, that's not true.
Not true. To make it look like it was the studio that you used in LA.
My studio that is gorgeous in Los Angeles doesn't even cost six figures. So I don't know how cardboard walls could cost six figures, but.
But do you think they did that? I mean, you saw it.
Absolutely not. With love to them. Oh my God, it was gorgeous, but like, it wasn't that nice. It wasn't like gorgeous marble. Like, no, that was not six figures.
And now that the Harris campaign lost, which I think was definitely their election to lose, given just how much Trump was like not even trying, and he didn't win by the popular vote he won by less than 50%. Harris dropped the ball. Lindy Lee was all in on the campaign. And now she's pivoting because she's like, you know what? I want to go to the winning side. And now the Hunter Biden laptop story is a thing. That's just so craven and so pathetic. And I'm someone who has not received a single dollar from the Democratic Party or any
Neither have I.
to talk about my views.
Neither have I.
Okay,
now,
much money off
now
of it.
I will let Lindy. Now I will let Lindy respond. Hang on, Lindy. Hang on, Lindy. Hang on, Lindy. I will now let you respond.
Tell me one person who's paid me.
I don't know, girl.
Who's paid me?
You tell me.
You're just making up shit. You're just making up shit. Are we allowed to curse on here?
Yeah.
I don't need anybody's money. No one has paid me. You're just making this is like libelous. It's defamation. No one has
obviously
paid me.
you go. No one has to pay you. It's all about influencerdom, right?
Now you're changing your story. Don't change your story. Just a minute ago, you said that I was a grifter and I was getting paid.
I never said you did. I said
many
I
dollars.
But why are you changing your brand?
I don't know who you are, respectfully.
Why are you changing? You don't need to know who I am. Why are you changing your brand?
Who came out against the pardon? Is he a grifter too? Is Governor Jared Polis also a grifter for saying that the pardon was a bad idea because Joe Biden repeatedly lied? If you're going to pardon your son, fine. There are arguments in favor of that. But why did you have to lie repeatedly and say that you weren't? He lied after
lying
the election.
Is bad.
Please finish
lying
the sentence.
really
Why
is bad.
Insist on talking over people again and again.
This is mental illness.
In terms of the Harris campaign, I raised millions of dollars for that campaign. I donated buildings in a church to the campaign. I did not find out until after she lost that millions were spent on, for example, 2.5 million was spent on Oprah. $500 million went to just 4 well-connected Democratic firms, including Bully.
Welcome to the political revolution, girl. The Democratic Party won't save you.
I don't know what's going on with you, but can you please let somebody finish? Thank you so much.
Please finish.
And also, and millions of dollars to celebrities. It's in millions of dollars to private planes and also 5-star hotels for campaign staffers. I have donors who donated anywhere from $10 to $25 of their hard-earned money to $1 million. They are fuming. And we had no idea this was going on. The campaign, during the campaign, said that we were going to win 3 to 4 battleground states. That was what we were expecting. Jen O'Malley Dillon went around the world telling people that we were definitely going to win the campaign. But they knew all along, now we know, they knew all along that Kamala Harris was losing. She was behind Trump the entire time. But when she was with us donors, when they were whining and dining us, they told us a completely different story.
They were clearly.
And there you have it, y'all. Al Sharpton getting a boot. He getting that leather alligator boot in his hind parts from the blackity blacks who are seeing him for what he is. Okay, I'm glad about it. But don't raise up a fake church organization to call itself representing the blackity blacks who are of a religious bent and say, oh, I represent all the blackity black churches. We are the black church and we throwing this Negro out. No, no, no. You are another black organization just like he is, who is sitting up butthurt. Put that picture up on the screen, but with that butthurt cream, they need a double dose. They need a double appointment, a double anointment of the butthurt cream because, y'all, this National Black Church Initiative seems like they're a little butthurt because they didn't get no bread from the Harris Waltz campaign. Okay, these are the problems that go on in the blackity black community, y'all. That's why you can't lump us all together, and that's why you can't paint with a broad brush. When you see me talk on this channel and I get so bent out of shape because y'all put all black folks and lump them together, no, there's too much nuance in the community. In the community, y'all. You can't lump us all together. And these people come out and say, oh, well, we represent 27 million. Well, that's just a fraction, bro. Well, we got 150 black churches. Well, that's just a fraction. That ain't all of them. There's some who disagree with you, like me. So don't leave us out and don't sweep us up in your foolishness. Yeah, we disagree with Al Sharpton too, but we not gonna fall into the trap of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. No. You ain't the black church. You are a black church organization, probably a 501c3 nonprofit, subject to governmental oversight. And for those of us who see the government in the wrong, well, if you subject to government oversight, you probably in the wrong too. Y'all, let me know what you think about this. I'd love to know your thoughts on this topic. And Al Sharpton apparently getting the boot to tail by the black church. At least that's what they call themselves. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. I'd love to know your thoughts, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video so we can get more people involved in the conversation, y'all. And like I always say, always remember and never forget, without the gospel, it's just chops. Till next time, peace.